afternoon and welcome to Cstv News 24 on Cstv. You can follow us on all social media handles at CSTV.GH. We are also streaming live on our YouTube channel CSTV.GH. My name is Dorcas Mensah. Now in the headlines, my criticism was constructive, says Samuel George Nate, Gold Board to curb smuggling boost fixed inflows. Dr. Castle at the Forces says on the international front also, passengers plane catches fire at South Korean airport. There's a many more stories we're coming your way as well as weather reports.
My words were that she had the power to move the case faster than it was being done. And subsequent actions after the demonstration that I led have actually proved my position to be true. That when the Chief Justice gives a timeline, everybody, respondent or plaintiff, Attorney General inclusive, must abide by it. When she invoked her powers, everybody complied. So my contention that she could have expedited it if she had given earlier timelines were proving right by her subsequent actions. Thank you.
Do you think that prior to your comment, she was not doing a job well? Is that your case?
Mr. Chairman, I thought she could have done better in the exercise of her public office.
Do you think that your commentary was fair to her?
Mr. Chairman, I believe that all public officers are subject to constructive criticism, and I consider my comments constructive criticism.
So on this same story, the minister designate also added that the decision not to give a ruling on an injunction case basically and technically stay in the hands of Parliament indefinitely.
Lawyers for Parliament, as to the reason.
Yes, I did, and they said no reason was given for the adjournment. The Chief Justice said she wanted to hear the substantive case before giving a judgment on the injunction case, because there were two cases before the court, the substantive case and the case for injunction. Now, the decision not to give a ruling on the injunction case basically and technically stayed in the hand of Parliament indefinitely, because so long as there was no ruling, Parliament could not appeal, Parliament could not act. It held Parliament in abeyance for almost 5 months.
Moving on to other stories, Minister of Labour, Jobs and Employment designate Abdul Rashid Hassan has cleared a viral statement attributed to him regarding providing jobs for unemployed graduates. According to him, his words were mispresented and misquoted.
If you did so, those stones could be sold and you earn something for yourself. And then he also said that if you live in a place where there are breeding animals, with such a person as I described, you could also cut grasses and sell to those people and you will earn something. In this sense, that single person who has no education and no skill can still be employed by himself. So I cited that, and then they captured the part I was explaining that alone and used it a lot. I saw it a lot in the 2016 campaign against NDC, that I said they should go and cut grasses. Graduates should go and cut grasses, and then collect stones, and all that. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, I know what I was talking about, and when I realized that people were misunderstanding and misusing it, I was looking for the full tape to play so people can see what I was saying. And I was also looking for the gentleman who gave me that idea to come to Joy News or Joy FM and speak about it. The man cannot be found. So when I saw him the other time,
Managing Director of the Produced By Company, Derek Kweku in Cancer, has reportedly been attacked at his office. Narrating his ordeal, he alleged that the attackers were supporters of the National Democratic Congress.
Yes, sir. I'm not paying the one motor for being boys be mobile, almost national security. Now, the friend is saying, Omo who said, DHC, cast in fear, or mobile faco. I'm saying, hey, after when you can't and that.
Asempa FM.
Number one. And number two, and I do a horror match in Abuno, and you brought out my bully. If I bear 17, she made the pictures to Koraba. I say, Yasin Kuma. Let me, I need 1968 answer. Also, national security. Can I was some hour or multi and one way up or multi money.
I know almost a uniform, Bain.
Open the uniform, who have pictures now, the Yabanoa. Then I know the home uniform, so they are not given. Omuya almost ora for na ne ho afan say the omeniema no moye no moto adien atoto punum ye mamu ntrafie ha mo cars se we ha so a ye de ko na me
cars no na say me bato PBC for cars and say wow personal car
me personal ba ku wo me no ye Nissan hard body into a
okay.
The accident, Kuranti, and China, Kuramaya, and the I the wood in zero. And a BBC so dear. And Switzio, and also a BBC car.
A moody and almost your more far corner.
Or more from your union.
Oh, na picture ya Odebai, the year pushing here, the aim. Bakuma was PBC, the no. Eno mu pushing no, anana. Na ends parke.
They want to Safano our office.
In the they are too free now or more pushing.
Yeah, Kenyan quantity Safano and Obi. One more for towing track. Who should video no a woman? So would you be see what actually can they call? Tara said, yeah, what would you call? So, for what change they call at it, or much other could do so for pra. But your chair on go fast and one free office by Bomba no much at Omuko.
And now back to Parliament House. Again, chaos erupted in Parliament during the sitting of the Appointments Committee on Thursday evening as tensions raised between members of the minority and majority. The chaos got to a point where tables and microphones were damaged, prompting the intervention of the police to restore peace and order.
That is your seat. You've taken your seat, so go. That is your seat out. You're taking your seat, so go.
Our two other stories, a 19-year-old miner whose name was given as Enoch Buama, who appeared before the Takwa District Court 1 for stealing items worth 802 Ghana cedis, have been sentenced to 3 months imprisonment in hard labor. Enoch Buama, who was charged with unlawful entry, causing damage and stealing, pleaded guilty to the court. Inspector of Police Patrick Essien, prosecuting, told the court presided over by Mr. Charles Owusu-Insia that the complainant, James Atta, was a farmer and resident of Kofijan, a community in the Pristia Huni Valley municipality. So on this note, we're going for a break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Cstv. For more news updates, you can follow us on all social media handles at CSTVGH. We also stream live on YouTube channel CSTVGH. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Now moving on to other stories. Mr. Klucha Veji has replaced Reverend Ogbami Tete as Acting Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission. This follows the termination of the appointment of Reverend Alfred Tete as President John Dramani Mahama appoints Dr. James Kluche as the Acting Director General, effective immediately. Dr. Callistus Mahama, who is the Executive Secretary to the President, in a letter addressed to Reverend Tete to hand over his duties to Dr. Kluche, the President extended his gratitude to Reverend Tete for his service to the nation. Government has inaugurated the Technical Committee of the Ghana Gold Board, a step forward stabilizing the nation's currency through structured management of its gold resources. Finance Minister Dr. Kaswatu Forsen described the initiative as a vital reform to address inefficiencies in Ghana's gold sector, which remains fragmented and uncoordinated despite being Africa's leading gold producer. Speaking at the inauguration, Dr. Forsen highlighted the need to
promote traceability and pursue London Bullion Market Association, otherwise known as LBMA certification, in the shortest possible time. The government of Ghana will provide a revolving fund enough to purchase all gold from small-scale mining sector.
Now moving on to foreign news, a passenger plane caught fire before takeoff at an airport in South Korea, but all 176 passengers on board were safely evacuated. The Airbus plane operated by South Korean Airlines was preparing to leave for Hong Kong when its rear part caught fire. International Airport in the southeast. The plane consists of 169 passengers, 6 crew members, and 1 engineer were evacuated using an escape slide. Daughter of Jacob Zuma is accused of inciting others to carry out violent acts through a social media post. The 42-year-old, who is a member of parliament, handed herself to the police station in the eastern city of Durban before going to court. She faces charges of incitement to commit public violence and terrorism under a law that deals with threats to the state. We'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned. Renowned Ghanaian actor and brand influencer Mickey Osei-Beko, also known as Dada Boots, has opened up on the impact of growing up without his father. The actor said he spent most of his life with his mother and only met his father for the first time when he was almost 40 years old. He explained that his father's absence was due to some circumstances, but emphasized that he holds no resentment. The actor said his experience should rather encourage young people facing similar challenges and urge them not to let the absence of a parent define their future.
Living together?
Yes, no, I would say I lived all my life with my mom. Okay. Yeah, I first saw my dad when I was about close to 40, you know. Due to some circumstances between themselves, I don't want to explain.
For the first time?
Yes. You know, I say this because not to discredit my dad, because he had his own issues at the time. My dad is still alive, you know, and we are very close now. We bonded so well after we met. But I say this to encourage people, the youth, who say that I never met my dad, my mom wasn't there, so that is the reason for my predicament. I think that is not true. Sometimes it does affect lives, but if you keep your focus right, I think that you can survive life and be able to build it with or without a parent.
What is that one thing that has stuck with you till date?
Weather updates will be coming your way soon. Stay tuned. Weather updates for today: mist of fog patches will be experienced over southern Ghana during the early hours of the day. Sunny weather conditions with periodic cloudiness are expected over most places of the country as the day unfolds. However, thundery showers are anticipated over a few places along the coastline and inland areas later in the day. Dry and hazy conditions will persist over the northern half throughout the forecast period. Visibility across the country is projected to range between 1,000 meters and 8,000 meters. So this is where we end today's news bulletin on CSTV. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. My criticism was unconstructive, says Samuel George Nate. Gold bottle kept smuggling boost fixed inflow, says Dr. Ato Forsen. On the international front also, passengers plane catches fire at South Korean airport. And this is where we draw our curtains for today's news bulletin. For more news updates, you can follow us on our social media handles at CSTVGH. My name is Dorcas Mensah.